Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. Hey. I've actually forgotten what I said. I know what I want to talk about, but I've forgotten what I gave the title as what I was going to say. But I will figure it out. I'm just going to share it around. Oh yes, how to create more prosperity. That is it. That is it. I forgot the title, but I knew what I wanted to talk about because this morning, something happened, which I'm going to explain in a minute. I'm going to share this and invite you to share it as well. Say hello. Tell me where you're streaming in from. That would be so amazing. Yes, yeah, I'm just going to start singing that now. Amazing. Tell me where you're streaming in from, guys. This is the Church of RNK. And I'm Rosemary Nonny Knight, and as always, it's going to be an amazing time us hanging out together, talking about prosperity, talking about up-leveling your idea of what is possible for you, okay? Because this is the thing for a lot of us. You know, we have a story, we have some kind of drama that's happened somewhere, and or something bad happened. I don't know. All kinds of things happen to all kinds of people. But you might right now be finding that you're kind of really struggling to move forward. You're kind of really struggling to create the wealth that you desire, even if you're working very hard. Now, I know everybody in this community works hard, okay? I'm sure there are some whiners and complainers, but I don't think you'll stick around me for very long, truth be told. But I think for most of us, we really do. We work hard. It's not that we're shying away from hard work or anything like that. And you've gone through some stuff, you've overcome some stuff. That is really, really cool. But this is the thing, it sometimes feels really frustrating because you are at a level and you can't seem to get past it. And you see other people, some of them flourishing, but unfortunately you're also surrounded by a lot of people that are all at the same level as you. If anything, you might be ahead of them a little bit, or you might even think bigger. Sorry, that was one of my children squealing. I thought something was wrong, but no, it seems it's just a sisterly craziness going on. But yes, you may even think bigger than the people in your world, okay? And so, because you think bigger than everybody you know already, it's sometimes you don't notice the things that are keeping you stuck in place, is the truth of the matter. I'm going to share this, sorry, and then we'll keep talking. But share. Tell me who you are. As I said, this is the Church of RNK. I'm Rosemary Nonny Knight. I really want to know who you are, okay? So say hello. Thanks for the heart. Thanks for the thumbs up. But I want to know who you are. Tell me who you are and where you're streaming in from, because that would be pretty dang amazing to know. I always like to know my community. I want to get to know you, not just talk at you, but talk with you, okay? That's the great thing about this live stream thing, isn't it? Because you know that right now, somewhere in the world, I am sitting down here on my awesome couch, talking to you, okay? And my children are out there somewhere. They're squealing, possibly playing the dance game and such. And it's cool. It's real. It's here. We're here. Woo! It's not just some video that I did some 20 years ago. Now, this morning, actually, I was doing my quiet time as I do every freaking day. I spend time with higher power, with Papa, is who I call him. And I journal, I read the Bible, I do all that kind of stuff. Right now, I'm reading actually through about the Israelites as they make their journey. And I've talked a little bit about some of this stuff with you guys before, but I'm carrying on the journey where they're now in the wilderness. They're now actually in between Egypt and they're trying to get to Canaan, their promised land, okay? And it's like us, isn't it? We're out of the struggle, kinda, because the truth is, the struggle became them. The struggle became them for a very long time, and that might have happened with you, and it definitely happened with me at one point. The struggle became me. I struggled a lot, okay? My family had struggled a lot. My story is one that not many people have gone through, okay? Your story as well. I imagine that you've had some stuff really happen, as I keep saying. But the struggle became me for a while. I became the struggle became me. But I didn't know that this was happening to me. I didn't realize that this had happened to me. I felt as if, you know what, I can keep pushing forward and things will work and, oh, please God, let things work out and blah, 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 blah. But there was this internal feeling that I wasn't really deserving of great things because struggle had become my identity, it had become my middle name. But I wouldn't have known it. You may not know it. You may think, no, I'm just going to work hard and everything's going to be fine. But the problem is that you are working hard and everything isn't fine. Basically, that happens to a lot of people, but most people unfortunately are too. I was just on a webinar And I was telling people how, yeah, I was very proud for a very long time. I would never have thought of asking for support, never. I would have thought, no. Even though I went to uni and did the whole pharmacy thing and thought it was okay to ask for support to become a pharmacist, but it wasn't okay to ask for support for my life. It wasn't okay to ask for support, well, apart from maybe from church or something. But it wasn't okay to ask for support when I wanted to start businesses. And so I started a lot and stopped a lot and started a lot and stopped a lot because I could never completely commit. Because struggle had become my identity. That was one of the reasons, not the only reason for sure, but it was definitely one of the reasons. And that might be happening to you right now. But the point I'm trying to make here, so I was reading this morning about the part of their journey was that they all donated something towards, I'll put this down for a sec. They all donated something towards building the temple, okay? Whilst they were in the wilderness thing, they donated, all the Israelites, I don't know how many they were traveling from Egypt to Canaan. And they all donated something towards the temple that they were going to build so that God could come with them on their journey and everything. And there was a heck of a lot of gold and really expensive stuff. And the thing, because I kept asking, this morning, I was kept asking, what is the relevance? Why is this important? Why is this actually even listed in this holy book? Why do I need to know that there was so much money spent on building a temple for you that you don't really need it, really, he doesn't really need it. So basically, so what is the point? Why was it so important that there was no expense spared? After all, I'm sure there were poor people amongst the Israelites. I'm sure the money could have been used for something more useful. And I'm sure, in fact, in this day and age, that lots of spiritual people would say that. I still remember some dude on Twitter telling me about how everybody's greedy for, if you happen to show, I think I did an image of a girl in a car about to go into a private jet. And this guy reacted and was like, oh, the world is full of greedy people. What has a girl going into a private jet got to do with, finding a purpose or anything like that? And spiritual people can be that way. Okay, you may be that way. And you know what? I'm doing this live stream, really, I'm hoping to release you from some of your poor thinking. Because the thing that came up for me when I started asking these questions, now I know your belief system may be different from mine, but listen to what I'm trying to get across to you here. The Israelites had owned the struggle. They had been slaves, they'd been used and abused by the Egyptians, and it had become their identity. In fact, every time any struggle, any difficulty came their way on the walk between Israel and Canaan, between Egypt and Canaan, they would immediately say, oh, I need to go back to Egypt where everything was better. It wasn't better. They were slaves, man. It wasn't better. But somehow they thought that it was better than walking to their promised land. And some days you get that way, right? There are days when if you are on the journey, on the narrow path to you want to make a heck of a lot of difference to people, you want to make money, you want to build a business, you want to be financially independent, financially free, whatever word works for you, you want that. But there are days when it feels tough. It feels as though no matter how hard you work, you're not getting anywhere. And I know the Israelites felt that way because frankly, they walked around a journey that should have taken a very little time. It took 40 years, basically, of them wandering around in the desert because they had to shed the identity of struggle. They had to shed that identity of being slaves. They had to, or else they would go into the promised land. And next thing they know, they'd probably, you know how you see people who keep doing the same thing over and over again with different person. So sometimes it's a woman, she gets into a relationship with a man, he beats her. She finally finds the courage to leave. She finds another man who seems amazing. Next thing he's beating her as well. And then she finds the courage to leave. And then she finds a third man and he starts beating her. and it's like, how is it that you find the same kind of person? They all look different, but it's the same thing. And it might be a different kind of struggle. Maybe it's different for you. That you find, it just seems as though, even though the people that you're actually connecting with, you are different, it's the same story playing out over and over and over again. Why? Because you're still owning the identity of the person who gets, in the case of the woman, the person that gets beaten. You are the victim of domestic abuse. the woman generally has owned that as her position in life. And so no matter what she does, until she chooses to look at what is causing this, to look at what is inside of her that has owned that identity and heal it and break it off, she will keep finding a different man who will look amazing in the beginning, and then he'll start beating her. And then the same thing will happen again, and the same thing will happen again, and the same thing will happen again until she breaks the cycle. And that is what would have happened with the Israelites as well. If they had gone straight from Egypt to Canaan without taking the time to actually break off that identity of being slaves, they would somehow have found some kind of drama, trouble in Canaan as well. They in the end, they kind of still did. Basically, because ultimately they're still human, right? But this is it. For you as well. The reason why, this is this is my interpretation, honey. It's just my interpretation. Remember, the truth always stands up to scrutiny. You can question everything. Question everything. Don't just accept what I say as gospel truth. But if it resonates with you, then take some time to actually dig into it for yourself, okay? Now, there's all this story about them building this temple. It's really flashy, really full of gold and silver and bronze and all kinds of glorious metals. Even the clothes the priests wear is made of the best material. And yes, I'm sure that some people can make an argument that is just greedy. Why did they need to do that? Why did God need that? And then that'll be a reason why everybody doesn't want to talk about God, because God just he just wants to take everything from you and all of that kind of stuff. But you know why? Because the Israelites had to elevate. They had to start to see that prosperity was possible for them. They had to be exposed to prosperity, not just their slave drivers' prosperity, but their own prosperity, that it is their birthright, that actually you can be. It's like as you, a person, if you've come from a place of poverty, if you've come from a place of lack, I would highly encourage you to take your courage with two hands and go into a very expensive hotel just for even if you sit in the lobby and just drink a coffee, just so you are exposed to more prosperity. Let it become normal to you. Because if not, you will keep trying to take your poverty and your lack and your struggle into your next level. And, well, in which case you won't get to the next level because you still own the fact that you're supposed to be poor and struggle and lack and all of that stuff. You keep holding on to it. You keep finding it where there is not it, basically. And your eyes are not open to the potential in front of you. And I mean, the story for the Israelites goes on to tell about how they go and look at Canaan, which is their land of opportunity. It is everything they need. It has been planned out for them and everything. And yet they send off 12 spies or something to go and check out the land. And somehow 10 of those spies come back saying, oh, you know, it's all horrible, everybody's going to kill us, because they still identified with being slaves, with being small, with being victims. That's the thing. And if you are, and this is no insult, okay? It's not an insult. It's just that it's time to raise your awareness. You want to step into more prosperity. You want to make a dent on the planet. You want to be a history maker rather than just someone that talks about the stuff that you're going to do. Then it's time to start elevating your sense of prosperity, your sense of abundance, your feeling around you that, you know what, I deserve good things. Okay, I deserve good things. I'm not a victim any longer. I am someone who is victorious. So take yourself into an environment that feels lavish to you right now. That is one exercise I have for you guys. You know, take yourself into an environment that feels bigger, more amazing, more than you've ever experienced to date. Let it make you slightly uncomfortable and then go back again and again and again until it's become normal for you. Until it's become normal that yes, good things are my birthright. Good things are my birthright. I belong in this lobby. I belong in this expensive restaurant. I know, and it will seem stupid. Why am I doing this? I could use the money for something else. I could use the money for something else. Honey, all the stuff you've been using the money for has kept you in the struggle, has kept you kind of just going round and round and round in circles and getting absolutely nowhere. Honey, you want to experience more prosperity. You want to start to believe that you are worth good things. Take actions that suggest to your insides that you are worth good things. it seems so small, it seems so silly, it seems wasteful. That's what I was reading when I was reading the thing, and that also made me realize, hey, you're still thinking from a place, in areas of my life, I am still thinking from a place of lack, and it's time for me to shed that. So there I am reading this, and I'm asking, why was it necessary for so much money to be spent on stuff, on all this stuff? Why was it necessary? They could have used it for something else, they could have done this, and that's the answer that came through, because they needed to know what was possible for them. They needed to be exposed to luxury, okay? It is not wasteful if you end up starting to accept that actually abundance is my birthright. Yeah, I deserve every good thing. Don't listen to those. There's lots of spiritual people that will tell you, oh no, it's just greedy, you should send it to the poor. As Jesus said, the poor will always be with you. So basically, but the only way you're going to get to the place where you're able to actually make a heck of a lot of difference on the planet is that you are not one of the poor. Sorry, but that's the truth. You have to become someone who has a lot, because then you have a lot to give. Most people are spending all of their time trying to give from a place of lack themselves. And so it's the blind, the one-eyed leader leading the blind, basically. Or even, it's even worse. It's the blind leading the blind. And so in the end, I did this. I went bankrupt. Okay? At some point, you need to realize that you're going to have to elevate your way, the way you feel. It's like I watch my princesses, and I know they've been brought up completely different from me. There's just an expectation that good things are supposed to come their way. It can be annoying sometimes because they want what they want when they want it. But at the same time, I wouldn't want them to think any smaller. Really, I really wouldn't. Of course, I wanted to train them into recognizing that, yeah, you do deserve every good thing. You also have to take action to make sure that you allow yourself to receive every good thing. It's not just sitting there thinking everybody's going to give it to you. No, that's not what this is about. But then at the same time, I want them to think it's their right to be treated well. It's their right to live well. It's their right. So that they refuse to settle for any less. And I want that for you as well. The thing is, most of us, we've not had the greatest of childhoods. And that's fine. We can now change it. We're adults now. We don't have to keep living from the past. We don't have to keep living as though the past is now our present. It's not. We can choose right now that, you know what, I deserve every good thing. And it will start by you choosing to put yourself in what seems to be an uncomfortable place. Do you ever feel uncomfortable, the idea of speaking to someone that is wealthier than you? It's time you put yourself into those places. Okay, to begin with, you may not know where those places are. Just find a nice hotel that you think to yourself, oh my gosh, I could never stay here. Make a decision to go and have a coffee there. Have a drink of water, for goodness sake. Have a drink of water there. And just sit in that environment and let it seep into you. So you start to elevate your expectation of what you're allowed to have, honey. Okay? If you truly, truly, truly believe that abundance is your birthright and the birthright of every person on this planet, you will recognize that actually you can never have so much that you've somehow taken away from anybody else. No, everybody gets the same choice as you do to create as much as they want to create. It isn't that there is a lack, it is that there is a lack of resourcefulness, because most people are thinking from a place of lack. They're thinking from a place of everything is a zero sum and, everything is going to end. We need to be careful. We need to be tighten our belts. And what if we realize that actually inside of each individual human being on this planet, there are ideas, amazing ideas that are trapped inside of them because everybody's thinking lack. Not everybody. There are a few that are not thinking lack. And they are the ones that actually go on to change the world. You can join them simply by doing a simple exercise like, what do I think is a little bit above me? I'm now going to expose myself to it until it becomes me, until it becomes my norm. This is my norm, that good things are supposed to be happening to me all the time, man. I am worthy of all good things, and I choose to allow myself to receive them. Let that be your story. So yes, that is what came up for me today, and I wanted to share it with you because, honey, it's time that we do step up and not identify with struggle any longer. Not identify with the fact that, oh, you know, life is hard and it's all tough and everything all the time. You just keep recreating the stuff. You keep recreating the sad, sad story. Let's not do that. Be the role model for people in your world. Don't wait for them to give you permission. They're struggling with their own feelings of lack. You choose. Yes, some people will think you're being wasteful and crazy. How can you do that when you have this? How can you not do it when you know you've been doing all the normal stuff and you're still trapped in place? So it's time to, you know, do something different. And that something different can literally be a cup of water in a lavish hotel surroundings, so that you can start to think to yourself, you know what? Lavish financial surprises are mine. I belong in this environment where life is good and I am so blessed. I mean, life is good, you're already blessed. But you know, do you know what I'm saying here? It's time for you to start to feel rich, okay? Because that is how you're going to serve more people. That is how you're going to allow yourself to create the wealth that you need for you, for your family, and to impact the world, honey. So please, give up the poor thinking, give up the I'm so super spiritual, I'm of no useful use on the planet, basically, because, oh, God wants me to be poor. He doesn't want you to be poor. Your higher power does not want you to be poor. It's time for you to elevate your consciousness of abundance. And this is how you can do it. Just one simple little exercise that I would love to hear that you've done it. And my phone is, the battery's low. Okay, anyway, I'm going to leave it at that for right now. I just really wanted to encourage you today to elevate your abundance consciousness. And it's not going to happen by you sitting there in the same old surroundings, listening to the same old people, doing the same old stuff. It's not going to happen. You're going to just be the same, you know, listening to everybody complaining, you just join in. No. It's time for you to step away and do something completely different. Start to own the fact that, you know what, abundance is my birthright. Go to an environment that feels more wealthy than you've ever experienced to date. And let it become normal to you. Sit there until it becomes normal, or go back again and again and again until you're not uncomfortable walking into that environment. Let it become, this is my norm. You will find that you start to take different actions, actually, because you start to think differently about yourself first, and then about what is possible for you. Okay? Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. And this is it. If you would like to get unstuck, if you're feeling stuck in your ways, you listen to what I just said, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's one of the things that could be holding you back. Absolutely good. Do the exercise. But the next thing is, let's have a conversation, you and I. Let you and I have a conversation. It's called a Freedom and Strategy session, where we will get very clear about what you want to create, or how you want to impact people, how you want to use your story to actually change, so that to help other people avoid making the same mistakes that you made. What kind of products, what kind of services, what kind of stuff can you offer to the marketplace, so that you don't have to work for somebody else any longer if you don't want to, so that you can actually make that transition, all of that stuff. Honey, let's have a conversation, because you may not know how to make this possible for you right now. But I know, okay? Why? Because I spent a lot of time doing some of the stuff I'm telling you to do right here. Okay? So, let's have a conversation, you and I. Everybody that has a conversation with me comes out a lot clearer about what is their next step. So come. It's rosemarynonnyknight.com/freedom session. I'm going to type this in right here. rosemarynonnyknight.com/freedom session. Let's have a conversation, you and I, and see what your next steps need to be in order for you to elevate your existence. In the meantime, however, take yourself to somewhere a lot more lavish than you're used to. Enjoy it. Feel part of it. Let it seep into your being. Okay? Okay then, it's time to fight for and to deliberately design the life you're born to live. I look forward to having a conversation with you. It's at rosemarynonnyknight.com/freedom session. Go forth and prosper. Much love, my honeys, because you want to. Much love.